What's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about building a soft wash setup for batch mixing under $2,000. I'm going to walk you through the different products, what you guys should be looking at getting, and then at the end, kind of how they all work together and how you can set it up. In an upcoming video, I'm also going to be doing one to show you how to put together a soft wash system that will blend or have a metering system. So please like and subscribe and stay tuned to the channel for that. That will be coming up shortly. As always, thanks for watching and hope you guys find this helpful. All right, so as I mentioned, this video is going to be talking about building a batch mix soft wash setup, and we're going to do this for under $2,000. So if you haven't seen this video here already, it's on my channel. It'll be in a playlist at the end of this video, but it'll basically show you what we are doing. This is the setup that I started with. And it made me a lot of money, and I think it's going to be very helpful for any guys that are trying to get into this business this year. So the first thing we want to start with is our tank. This is a 100-gallon tank bought right from Home Depot. A lot of this stuff actually you can find at Home Depot. This tank right here, $353, and it'll be plenty to start batch mixing. There are other options. You can find them here at chemtainer.com for different options, whatever style you want. Doesn't really matter to me, I don't think. Just make sure you're getting at least 100 gallons. That seems to be the perfect size for batch mixing. Next, after we have our tank, it's important to be looking at what kind of pump we want to use. I've tried North Star pumps, a couple other companies. I haven't had good success with them. Now I exclusively use Everflow. It's just a personal opinion. You guys will find the ones that you like along the way. Here, though, we're looking at a 5.5 gallon per minute diaphragm pump, which seems to me to be the perfect number. Anything less than that, you're not going to have good enough flow. Anything like 7 gallons per minute, you're going to lose a little bit of control with your spray, and you're going to be dumping your tank a lot faster than you want. We're looking at $109 for this pump right here. I'm only putting down that you need to purchase one for, the example that I'm trying to build out for you guys here. I would suggest buying at least two. These will stop working on you. They will break, and they will break in the middle of a job. You want to have two. You want to be comfortable with exchanging them out. And then once you are down to one pump, buy another one. It is a cost of doing business. Everything else on your truck, your tanks, your hoses, your reels are going to last for season after season. Your pumps, you're probably going to go through at least 2 or 3 a season. Make sure you're ready for that. Make sure you have extras. Okay. Also, one thing I'm going to touch on first, buying your pumps first is going to be very beneficial because the threaded ports here on the inlet and outlet side, in the box with your pump, you're going to have those fittings. And on the outside of those fittings, they're going to have a special barb. Once you figure out the size of that barb, and I apologize, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, you're going to be able to then figure out what kind of plastic tubing you're going to need. And I'm going to touch on why you need this later on. But basically, you want to make sure you're going to want to have the right barb to hose ratio. And again, when you buy this pump, it'll all be in the box, and you'll know exactly what size you need. And to me, it's just kind of easier to work out from these fittings to the rest of your system. So now, while we are building a soft wash setup, as you can see in the back of my truck right here, I do have a pressure washer. It's basically this exact same model. Mine is also a 2.4 gallon per minute, 3,000 PSI Stimson pressure washer with a Honda motor. This one just looks a little flashier. It's just a little bit of a newer model. But we are looking at about $299 for this item to add it to our soft wash rig. I do not do a lot of pressure washing. I might have taken my pressure washer out of my truck maybe 5 times this season. I mainly do the 12-volt soft washing, have a lot of algae in my area, moss in my area on soft surfaces. I do fire up my pressure washer every once in a while to do a patio or some concrete cleaning around a pool. This pressure washer works really well with an 18-inch surface cleaner. Home Depot also sells this pressure washer and Ryobi attachments that work well on it. If you do live in the South, a lot of Southern wash companies do a lot of surface cleaning. They have concrete driveways and just more concrete than you find in the Northeast. You might want a 4-gallon per minute pressure washer. That is for you to decide. Some guys like to downstream. Some guys like to exclusively rinse with their pressure washer. If those are some of the things that you want to do, then you might have to go from a 2.4 $300 pressure washer up to a 4 or 6 gallon per minute pressure washer that might cost $500, $600, $700. It's not going to make a huge change in our pricing for our truck. Again, you might be adding $300, but I thought that this would be a really good setup or a good option to add. It's cheap, but it will give you some pressure options in the back of your truck without breaking the bank. Again, this works really well for my setup because I don't do a lot of pressure washing. But if you are going to be primarily pressure washing, then you might have to step it up just a little bit for a little bit of higher gallons per minute. Next thing we're going to be looking here is our hose for our soft wash truck. So CureTech is a very popular soft wash brand. It is chem rated, and you're going to be wanting to find something along the lines of 200 feet. 100 feet, 150 feet, in my opinion, is not enough. Give yourself all the room. Sometimes you're going to be parking out in the road. Sometimes they might have a longer driveway or just a big house. 200 feet is really, you're just going to maximize your reach, and you don't want to really be selling yourself short. Towards the end of the video, I will be finding a place to post all the links to these items. While you will be able to find the items that I'm showing you, it is your responsibility to figure out if you want a 5/8 or a 3/8 or a 1/2 or a half-inch hose, as well as when it comes to these barbs. I will post a link to all this stuff, but you're going to have to decide what is going to fit on your system. Moving on, this hose right here, if you follow these links, this one, it actually says that it's it'll work on a Titan 18-inch reel. So let me go ahead and uncover this. So the CureTech, again, was $215. That'll fit on this Titan reel for about $260. So the Titan reels are really popular in the soft wash industry because of their reliability, the way that they're built. They're stainless steel. This one seems to be coated. You're going to get a lot of lifespan out of these hose reels versus other brands. I used some hose reels in the beginning from Northern Tool, and I did not like them, and I just prefer not to recommend them. Currently, I am using Titan reels. I do like them, so they are going to be the ones that I recommend. Again, $260 for the reel. Next thing you're going to need for a soft wash, if you're going to be batch mixing, is some Contractor grade hose. $60 from Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you go. This is going to help you rinse your home, and we'll touch on this a little bit more later about how this works into your truck. On the end of our rinse hose, we are going to need a rinse gun. This is a $5.97 Gilmore gun from Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you want to get it. This simple gun is all you need on your rinse line. If you're going to be using a Contractor hose, this will last you for 20 or 30 years. It's going to deliver a fan spray or a straight stream. And I've been able to reach second story with a normal spigot line from a house with this nozzle. $6 is all you need for your rinsing. I still use them to this day. On the end of our CureTech hose for soft washing, you're going to want a wand. That's going to cost you about $40. You can easily buy them online all over the place. If you haven't checked out my video here, will also be in the playlist. You can build one yourself. This video is a little outdated. I build it a little differently now, and I probably will do a new video on that shortly, but this will give you a really idea. Whether you're going to buy your own or build your own, either way, you should watch this video and understand how to build your own, because you will drop them. They will fall off the roof. You will drive over them with your truck. If you have to maneuver in the driveway, you'll crack the end of it with your ladder. Whatever happens, it will break, and it'll break in the middle of a job. So I have literally stood in between jobs in a Home Depot parking lot building these wands so I can go to the next job. Just something to keep in mind, that you might want to know how to build one quick, what items you're going to need, and where to find them in Home Depot. We can't really do our job without ladders. So as far as this, our conversation goes here, I'm going to recommend a 28-foot ladder for $285. You can definitely find these cheaper. This one's a little bit more pricey because it is a Werner fiberglass D-rung extension ladder. They're the only ladders that I like to use because they're sturdy. They're a little heavy. The aluminum ladders will definitely be lighter, but I think that they're more flimsy, and I've just honestly never felt comfortable on one. This is a 28-foot ladder. It will currently on my truck, I have a 20-foot ladder and I have a 32-foot ladder. The 32-foot ladder is very heavy, and it's usually, well, it's always overkill, honestly. 28 feet would probably be the perfect ladder, and it's probably the only one you'll need. I do have a link here that I'll show for a 20-foot ladder. I like having both ladders on my truck. I like having a 32-foot ladder, or like I said, the 28 would be fine for getting up on your second story ladders. There's a lot of times where there's going to be a one-story house or just a carport that you're going to want to clean, and you're not going to want to lift around your 28 or 32-foot ladder. This 20-foot, or this one right here is, I guess, a 16, but the 20-foot fiberglass ladder is very sturdy. You can move it around with one hand. It's very light, and it's just a nice extra one to have, but it will add another $224. It's also not needed. It's kind of just more of a simplicity thing to have two ladders. So for this instance, or for this example, we're only going to use the one 28-foot ladder, which would help you accomplish everything that you need. In order to, conveniently carry a ladder around, you're going to want a ladder rack. Ladder rack, we're looking at $103. Back to this video here, I have my ladder just strapped across the roof of my truck in my tank. I don't recommend that. It's an incredible pain, but it is possible to do. But I would recommend getting a cheap ladder rack, bolting it to the bed line of your truck here, and being able to access your tanks and hoses independently in the bed of the truck. And I think that would really work out well. Some of the last few things that we're going to need here is just a cheap piece of PVC. This is $2.95 per foot. It says it includes the 10 feet here. So we got our cheap drop stick. And what we use a drop stick for is going to go down in to the top of your tank, so you have no holes at the bottom, and that'll keep us from leaking, and we're able to use our pump to pull from the bottom of our tank up our drop stick into our pumps. Once our batch mixed SH soap and water comes up out of our tank through our PVC drop stick, it'll go into this poly hose here, into our pump, and then from our pump, we'll use more poly hose to go to our soft wash reel, and from our reel, it'll be going to the house where we will be washing. This again is something that I will post a link to. It's inexpensive. Oh, we messed up our sheet here. It's inexpensive, only a couple dollars, and that you're going to decide based off of the barbs that go towards your pump. You're going to figure out what size tubing you need, and you're going to be able to find that easily at Home Depot, Harbor Freight. You're going to be able to plumb your setup together. So all the items that we have there, $1,741, you're able to build your soft wash setup. So here we have a little diagram that can kind of show you how it all comes together for your batch mix setup. As you can see here, you have your 100-gallon tank. You have your drop stick that pulls up. Your chlorine, your water, and soap, if you wish, will be mixed in here. It's going to pull up through your drop stick and all it's going to come out the top of your tank, so you don't have anywhere for any leaking down below. You're going to be going through that poly hose, and it's going to be sucked through that line via your 12-volt pump. Okay, your 12-volt pump has an inlet side, and it's going to push out 5 gallons, 5.5 gallons per minute at 60 psi into your hose reel. This is going to be your Titan hose reel. It's going to have your Curitech line, 200 feet, that you're going to pull off your truck. It's going to be pushed to your wand, and here you are going to be able to spray your house. Where your contractor hose comes in is you're going to connect to the homeowner's spigot. You're going to have your Gilmore gun. You're going to rinse all the vegetation. You're going to use your Curitech line to spray your batch mix chem on the house. And then when you're all done, you're going to re-rinse with your contractor hose the house and the vegetation. You're going to reel it all back up. If you want an independent reel for your contractor hose, you can be my guest and get one. I reeled mine by hand all summer long until I got a reel. You can do either way. Your pressure washer will be on your truck for whatever needs whatever pressure washing needs you have. And that's basically how simple it is, guys. Your options for powering your 12-volt pump are, you have 2 options. You can have an independent car battery somewhere in the back of your truck that you hook to. Your pump will come with connecting options. It usually comes with clamps that you can connect right to the top of your battery. Or what I've done in the past is I've actually cut those wires, and I bought some extension wires from Home Depot, and I ran it under my truck and up through the firewall, and I connected it to my battery. And then there's a switch back here for your pump. So whenever I got to the job, all I'd have to do is just flick the switch and my pump would prime. And in between jobs, the alternator would charge my battery, and I never had to plug in my battery at night. So those are all some different options that you guys can figure out on your own. How you set this up is it's up to you. You can mount your 12-volt pump right to your tank. You can mount it somewhere on your truck. I would recommend somewhere easy and accessible because, like I said, you will be replacing them. You'll have to just pull out the fittings from this side and drop your new pump in. It's definitely useful to be using the same pumps and have the same replacement pumps, so you know that all your inlets and outlets will always be the same, and you'll just be able to quickly connect and disconnect them. So really hope that this was helpful for you guys. A really cheap way, again, less than $2,000 will get you washing for your season. And just a little diagram about how it all goes together here. It's very simple. Just a tank. You're running your liquid into your pump. Your liquid comes out of your pump into your hose reel, and you put it on the house. All right, so hopefully that helps. Like I said, there is going to be another video and a nice little diagram coming just like this one, except it's going to involve multiple tanks and a metering or a batch system, and we'll break down the pricing for that as well. If this video helped you guys, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for other plowing videos and more soft wash business setup videos coming your way.